Good afternoon. Thanks to everyone for being here. I'm Bruce Rogers, and I have the privilege of serving as the chair of the Board of Trustees here at Birmingham Southern College. I'm going to guesstimate that there are about 400 to 500 people here right now, and that's very gratifying and lovely for the gentleman I'm about to introduce as your next president. I want to say that during this search process, which goes back over 6 months, I probably had a multiple of about 5 times 500 people tell me what this college needed. And there was not always consistency, but it was always heartfelt and well thought out and appreciated. And I was one of many people involved in this process and had a search committee that was just full of the right stuff. And so it's brought us to a good place at the end. So if I may, I'm going to say a couple of other things, and then I'm going to give you the 14th president of Birmingham Southern College. So I'm going to go back and tell you a little bit about the history and tradition of the Marine Corps. I get told to get a haircut every time I'm with him, by the way. So the traditional role of a Marine is that you go in early, you take charge of a difficult situation, you restore order and stability, and then you move on. And you hand the leadership off to the next right person. So in 2011, a Marine and his beautiful wife, Zandy, was with him. They landed on our beach. And they took charge. And order was restored. Stability was restored. Our reputation, which had been tattered, was restored. And it's now time for our beloved Marine to move on. That's his decision. And we honor and respect that. And we honor and respect your leadership. And we are very grateful to you. So the critical mission for those who come behind a Marine is to make sure the leadership handoff is to the right person. And we found that right person. We found the person who deeply values the liberal arts experience. We found a person with proven leadership, a successful body of work at his first college presidency, Bethany College in Lynborg, Kansas. He took declining enrollment, and during his 7+ year tenure there, turned it into a 34% increase in the enrollment at that college. It's pretty remarkable, which meant that they were doing something right in their academic program, which meant they were doing something right in that campus community under his leadership. He took a retention problem where people would come but leave, and he turned that around and increased their retention by 11%. That's almost unheard of. He led the highest fundraising campaign in the history of Bethany College. He secured the largest individual gifts at Bethany College during his leadership there as president. He has a bachelor's degree in philosophy, which gives him his liberal arts chops. He has a PhD in higher education leadership. And then, because we recognize more than most that running the college sometimes has a business side, and we need to pay attention to that, he has an MBA. So he brings that quality to the table here. But mostly, as I indicated to you earlier about the 500 times 5 pieces of advice that I was given, your board of trustees listened. We listened to this community, and we took the values that you hold dear to heart. And we found the next right person. We found the next president because, number one, this gentleman cares about students. He cares about the young people who are here. That's what it's all about. And he's shown that. He's proven that. Number two, he always seeks more success, and he'll have that opportunity here, and the table is set for him. Number three, he doesn't like me to say this, but our current president is a bit of an Energizer bunny. I don't know anybody that has as high energy as General Krulak. I may have met another Energizer bunny. We have very high energy here in this gentleman. Number four, we have high integrity, and that matters here because this is a place whose mission includes values. And then last, Ed brings his whole family to the mission of this college. His beautiful and talented wife, Sheila, will be here on campus. Their two young boys will be here on campus, and they'll be a part of the larger community and part of the BSC family. So please welcome our next president, Ed Leonard.
I'm looking forward to it. Wow, thank you. Please sit. It's a great day to be a Panther. I am humbled and honored to stand before you as Birmingham Southern College's 14th president. I wish my wife and best friend Sheila could be here with me. Sheila's commitments, however, to our two sons, a 12-year-old and a 5-year-old, who you will all get to know, and to Bethany College prevent her from being here today. If God ever gave me evidence of his love for me, it was the day he brought Sheila into my life. I would like to thank the Presidential Search Committee for its service and hard work, and to thank the Board of Trustees for their faith and confidence in allowing me to succeed General Krulak, to serve and to lead Birmingham Southern at this time in your history. Lastly, I would like to especially thank General Krulak for his stewardship and leadership these last 4 years. General, your first words upon becoming the 31st Commandant of the Marine Corps are possibly echoing in your ears today. As you said then, the tour of duty for the Commandant, I'll amend it to President, is a brief event, gone almost before it begins. For a college that can trace its roots back to 1856, a president's stewardship is indeed a brief event. Birmingham Southern is not new to me. I first visited this beautiful campus in the early 1980s, and then again in the mid-1980s while on the staff of the Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity. My next visit came in the late 1990s when I was a finalist for a development position. While I didn't get that job, I'm pleased I finally got hired. Coincidentally, when I interviewed in the late 1990s by then Vice President for Development George Jenkins, it was the same office where I met with General Krulak when I was on campus 2 weeks ago. Even more coincidental is the fact that Henry King Stanford worked at Georgia College in Milledgeville, Georgia, before becoming the president of Birmingham Southern. I, too, previously worked at Georgia College. Let me finish these brief remarks by looking to our future. For me, that future is inspired by the words from your alma mater, which you all know, forward ever. But more than inspired, our future must be anchored in three things: B, S, C. B, our future must be bold, a future that explores and brings to reality what makes us distinctive. S, our future must remain anchored in our identity of scholarship and service, of our students experiencing both learning and doing. And C, our future must be compelling, excelling and living the idea handed down to us from John Wesley and William Whiteman. To begin to engage that future, over the next 12 to 18 months, working with the Presidential Transition Committee, which we haven't talked about yet, the Board of Trustees, the President's Council, and other leaders and members and students and faculty of the broader BSC community, I want to craft a shared vision and strategy. A vision, strategy, and initiatives that are framed by our strengths, opportunities, aspirations, resources, and results. What are our strengths? Leveraging those assets that will enhance our international visibility, reputation, and competitive advantage, and that will define and shape a better and stronger student experience. What are our opportunities? Waiting to be seized, taking calculated risks to expand our capacity as a 21st century international residential Methodist liberal arts college. What are our aspirations? Dreaming bigger and bolder dreams. Or as Jen Kay puts it, why reach for the sky when there are footprints on the moon? What are the resources needed to achieve those opportunities and aspirations? Those resources being human, technological, physical, informational, and financial. And finally, what are the key results? To soar requires achieving key results that secure the resources necessary to accomplish the opportunities and aspirations to reach the envisioned future. As we go forward together, let me close by borrowing from President Whiteman as he put forth the compelling idea. As we engage our shared future together, the great point to be considered is not so much what you shall get as what you shall become, what you shall do to bless your generation. Forward ever.